Gotcha. You took out the kill leader. Dropped him and dropped him.
I gotta res him. I'll res him. Or res her. Oh my god. Okay, thank you, thank you. I'm fucking just standing here like a fucking moron.
No.
No shield swaps! Okay, fine. I found. I need to change my keybinds on my my heat shield, because literally my left alt, that's what I did. Are you fucking kidding me? Yeah, I'm gonna have to change that shit. Oh my god, I have 666.
Damage?
Yeah, 666 on the dot. 6666666. There's still some kills, you know, of course, as I should always. It's a girl though.
Yeah,
I need to unmute her. You better not yell at her, Greedy. I swear if you yell at her, I will yell at you. Just giving you a heads up. Oh, hell no. Best thing is that I'm muted.
Just hanging around.
To test my stamina, my father slapped me on the lips with his cock.
Meteor strike!
Oh, that was written. I just heard a doo-doo, doo-doo.
Hold on. Crafting. Energy ammo here. 10 seconds.
Oh, look.
Let's go. Black market here. Best grab what you can.
There's no heavy ammo, classic.
No.
It's on. Ring's moving.
I had to, Greedy. I had to. I mean, not Greedy, Ridden. Sorry, it's the same. Y'all are one and the same.
Extended heavy mag here. Level 3.
I need heavy ammo. I need a shotgun bolt.
Nice. Damn, anything else, Princess?
Yeah, but
Huh?
wow. Huh? What
Ain't no way.
Wow.
What? Nothing?
That's
Just
it.
hanging around. I have little Nessies now.
Let's go. I don't know how you keep finding them there.
Laser sight here. Level 2.
I'm just a bad bitch. What can I say?
True. Truer words were not spoken.
Respawn beacon over there.
They're fighting over there.
Enemy spotted.
Care package over there. Let's get on that. Rápido.
I gotta sit up straight and shit.
I'm relaxed.
Yeah, you are relaxed, but you play this game every day. Ain't no back talk.
I have no idea what you mean, dude.
Ben's reset.
Yo, crafting over here.
Good work. We're inside the next ring.
Do you need hammy points?
Yeah.
I'm here, beach.
Attention. Loot
Here.
crates have been restocked.
Oh my.
Replicator.
Eyes up. Incoming replicator.
Someone out
Where?
there.
I dropped them.
Oh. Thank you.
Shut your ass up. My ass is shaky. There's somebody on the tree?
I hear ya.
Alternator here. Super compact.
I have one.
45 seconds.
Go double,
Close,
bro.
amigos. Donde ni carry.
Girl, I'm not I don't have enough ammo for that.
Just spotted someone out there.
If you find it 2 times, as
Got company.
it's called a bruiser, let me know. My Nessie is trying to fuck him up. Oh no! Do not peek that.
Ten till ring closes. Reloading. Frag out. Reloading.
Zone is moving.
Over there.
Do not yell at her.
Tango down. Care package touching down.
Resing.
They're
resing.
rezzing.
Platforms. Already on my mark. Firing for effect.
Is that yours?
Yeah. I ticked someone. What?
Care package over there.
Yeah. You guys good?
Charging on my shields.
I don't have my drone.
We've got company. Charging on my shields.
Oh my god.
There's a bruiser here.
I found one earlier. Thank you though.
Give him my shit. Max level without break.
Oh my god, my little Nessie. So cute. Oh, my little Nessie's fucking someone up.
Never mind. Care package over there. Must go faster.
This is the last team.
Yeah, it is, and they're... Oh my god.
Hold. Mira, found shotgun ammo. Shield battery here.
My Nessies are trying to mess them up, by the way.
G7 scout here.
What is... What's in there?
Boom.
Yeah.
Throwing arc star.
I think I'm being pushed.
It's a what's it called?
Mirage pickup.
Watching the other end.
Yeah.
Let's go this way.
Charging up my shields. Gotta use a Phoenix kit. Ah, these things.
My Nessies are in the...
Reloading. Give my shield a recharge. Give my shield a recharge.
Star.
Just giving my shields a recharge.
Frag out.
Round 5. Beginning ring countdown.
Let's go here. Charging up my shield.
Frag out.
Got some bad guys here. Ooh, that's gonna keep.
29 with that new.
Fire in the hole.
No, they keep killing my Nessies.
What's the respawn time on them?
20 seconds.
I'm spotted. Give me a second. Recharging shields.
We have really good height on them.
Yeah, but their head glitching like.
I like how I have it 3 times on this.
Give him my my shields a recharge.
Just giving my shields a recharge.
Throwing thermite.
I cracked the Pathfinder. You're not dying on my watch.
Give me a sec.
Once the zone closes, I can bang all freely.
Yeah.
Low. PH low.
I'm just waiting for the zone to close to bang all. Like,
Crack
Low,
the.
low, too.
Giving him the chimney.
I cracked the. What's his name? Don't even know their fucking names right now.
Reloading. I need heavy ammo. Must go faster.
And the ammo here.
No trouble here.
Putting lead down range. Reloading.
Trouble here.
not
Low
her
two,
pushing.
low two. Two, very low, very low.
And one shot.
Only one left, Greedy.
Help me,
Backing.
bro.
No, there's two left. Never mind. They're about to res. Damn. Yeah, they're resing. But my Nessies are still messing them up. Or they're... Yeah, they res. And I was... Yeah.
GG. I had to bet.
Yeah, no. I pushed because she pushed and
Yeah.
she cracked them and they were really low and I got them down and yeah. But
Mm-hmm. Not a bad game,
Fuck.
not a bad game.
fuck that game. Yeah. Of course. Of course.
Mhm.
I heard that Ridden is ready for you.
See you, chump.
Yeah, I wish. Okay. GG's girl, thank you for the games. Thank you. Nah, man. Food is almost here. Time for some greedy ranked. Yes. After I eat, yes. My food is almost here, so I'm thinking I'll put on a YouTube video and go brush and then eat. Yes. Mm-hmm. True. Not wrong, written, not wrong. Yep. Not the week. Come on, written. Vanish. Do the vanish written. Do the vanish real quick. Mhm. The cat dry. Oh, okay. It's okay. We have other games to play. I don't mind playing other games. Mhm. I'll put on a YouTube video and then yeah, I. Mm, let's just put on this.
The goal is to
Yeah, I'll be
play
right
good
back,
games,
okay?
right? But what defines good?
If an ad comes on
Defines
YouTube, please
one's
watch it.
sensibilities
I'll be
and
brushing my
tastes,
teeth
being
like a good
near
boy. Yes.
impossible thing to label as good and yet is enjoyable. Hi, folks. It's Falcon, and today on Game Ranks, 10 bad or mediocre games that are brainless fun. Starting off with number 10, it's Crackdown 3. I think if Crackdown 3 managed to come out around 2014 when it was first announced, it would probably be seen in a better light. Yes, it would have been simplistic and outdated even then, but I think it would have been better received than when it did finally come out in 2019, where it was mostly greeted with an indifferent shrug. Crackdown 3 is certainly not terrible, but for something that took so long to come out, there is very little ambition here. It's essentially the first game at a slightly larger scale, which, to be fair, is better than the second game at a slightly larger scale, but, I mean, a few more different types of enemy bases and stuff, it doesn't really make it a better game. The Crackdown games are almost completely devoid of story. You're a super soldier man. You go to the city, clear out bases until the main bad guy base unlocks. You do it 3 times and then the game is over. It's formulaic to the extreme, but there's fun to be had. You're basically the Incredible Hulk, but with a gun, and it can be satisfying to run around causing chaos everywhere you go. Collecting orbs to upgrade your stats is still fun. It is kind of mindlessly addictive to grab these collectibles everywhere. I mean, they give you tangible upgrades whenever you pick one up. It's repetitive as hell. There's basically zero substance to it, but damn it if it's not fun to screw around with. And even though it's brainless, like I said, it's still better than Crackdown 2.
Can only choose. Industry safety protocols disengaged. Enemy reinforcements inbound. Shut it down.
This is my salary for my online job that I have working for a USA-based company. And I'm not from the US, I'm from Portugal. Getting a job like this is not as hard as people think, and it's the best way to make money online this year. And yes, I mean an actual job. I know it may sound crazy because you've been bombarded with all these business opportunities to make money online, but the best way to actually do it and actually make money instead of...
At number 9 is Stranglehold. This game was meant to be Midway's answer to Max Payne. It was going to be gritty, it was going to be cinematic. The original trailer was a graphical powerhouse. I mean, it was going to be the most immersive third-person shooter ever. So it was, let's say, unexpected when the game finally came out and it was a big, stupid cartoon squirt attack shooting gallery. Plot's stupid, gameplay's janky, graphics look pretty bad a lot of the time. Not what I would call one for the museum, but it is extremely fun. Missions are just non-stop roller coaster rides of chaos. The game has absolutely no chill. Just going down a random street, suddenly you're ambushed by dozens of the world's most life-agnostic henchmen. These guys have a lifespan of a gnat. They spawn in, stand next to the closest environmental hazard, and do nothing else but stand there and shoot, waiting eagerly for their inevitable death. Inspector Tequila is a walking tank for some reason. Oh yeah, by the way, the game's meant to be a sequel to the Hong Kong action movie classic Hard Boiled, and that's all I'm going to say, because other than bringing in Chow Yun-Fat and throwing in a few references to the movie, it has very little to do with it. I mean, you can shoot, dodge, and slow down time, but that's mostly for building up scores so you can do these absurd super moves that let you kill everything in sight. It's just a non-stop violence orgy with barely any time to breathe, so it's ultimately extremely short and lacking in any kind of substance. But so are Michael Bay movies, and, well, they're fun, and the environmental destruction is extremely satisfying, and while the shooting doesn't feel particularly great, or honestly looks pretty cartoonish, I mean, I don't understand what's with the gigantic energy pellet looking bullets, but it gets the job done and makes for a very stupid but entertaining shooter. And number 8 is Transformers Devastation. Platinum's one of those studios that's gone through some extreme ups and downs. They've made some all-time great action games and some total garbage, like, well, everything they've made for Activision. For a little while, one of Japan's premier studios was cranking out some bottom-of-the-barrel shovelware junk. Don't know why they found that necessary. And none of these games are exactly good, but at least one manages to be extremely fun, and it's Transformers Devastation. It's bare bones. The environment's mostly copy-pasted city streets, and that's most of the game. There are a few unnecessary systems that bog things down, but the design of the Transformers is on point. They look like they jumped right out of the original cartoon, and the combat is, well, it's Platinum's bread and butter. They can make combat like this sing in their sleep. And the fighting is unsurprisingly awesome in Devastation. It's almost too good for this list. At least that's what I thought when I went back to play it, but also I will say it has some serious flaws. Everything in between the combat feels like super flat, like underbaked to the extreme. It's also really short, and that's even for one of their games, which tend to be pretty short. And one of the essential components of the Transformers is, well, it's on the tin. It's that they transform into vehicles, and it feels pretty underutilized in this game. You're using your vehicle form more as a special attack in combat than you're using it to navigate, which seems like odd. Even with all the attempts at polish, there's an undeniable feeling of cheapness in this game that keeps it from being a truly good game. But the moments where everything clicks, there's some great boss fights in it, or you really get into the intricacies of the combat system, which again is fantastic like normal. It's just that the rest of the experience doesn't get the time or budget that, frankly, this potential classic should have gotten. Unfortunately, it's just shy of being good. At number 7 is Bionic Commando. No, not the NES game or the Xbox Live Arcade remake. I'm talking about the Xbox 360 PS3 Bionic Commando third-person shooter reboot. The difference, those other games are great. This one, on the other hand, is deeply flawed. The story, stupid. The dialogue is obnoxious. All your main guy does for the majority of the game is complain and yell at whoever he's talking to.
I stopped the execution. You put me in prison in the first place. I followed your orders.
The graphics are pretty inconsistent, and wow, are there a lot of loading screens. But the core gameplay element of swinging around and shooting feels great once you get your head around it and sort of get your head out of all of the other things. What's interesting about this game is that the swinging is entirely physics-based. It's not cheating at every corner like the new Spider-Man games. Your bionic arm, grapple line, it gets wrapped around things, and how and when you release your grip on the grapple depends how far and how fast you'll travel. The mechanics are a lot more technical than a lot of games that have some kind of grapple, which is good because it's the primary mechanic of the game. So there's actually some depth, which makes it a lot of fun when you really get the opportunity to cut loose. You rarely do get the opportunity to really go nuts, though. The game is aggressively linear and boxed in. They justify keeping you trapped in generally small areas by saying there's radiation everywhere. In general, the levels are too short and too stop and start. You're always getting interrupted with some boring objective or tedious walk and talk
welcome in,
sequence
Kalsi,
that
welcome
breaks
in.
the genuinely fun parts of the game. The music is awesome, though. Honestly, way too good for this game, and I say that as somebody who actually kind of likes the
brother,
game,
man.
despite its glaring flaws. It's one of those games that just feels incomplete. Not just in that there are little stories that go nowhere. There's plot revelations that get super rushed in the last hour. Ends in a terrible QTE boss, and also the plot twist, which is so stupid. I can't honestly tell if it's supposed to be for real or dumb on purpose. I'm not going to spoil it because most of you already know what I'm talking about. And for everybody else, you just got to experience it for yourself. It's not just
Momos and
things,
fried rice.
but also I feel like if they took the formula of the grappling and battling and made it today, like with the same kind of physics and stuff, it would automatically be a better game because technical limitations would allow for much bigger levels. I don't know. The game's dumb as hell, but mechanically, it's actually pretty innovative and fun. Not enough to make up for its problems, but still a lot of fun. At number 6 is Time Shift. If all you saw was screenshots, Time Shift would look like the most bland, generic, mid-2000s FPS of all time. Like, it's so forgettable in style and substance that it's easy to get it mixed up with about a dozen other generic shooters from the era that are actively trying to imitate Half-Life 2. The difference is this one has legit fun time powers. You got the normal slowdown time. We've all seen that before, but it's done really well here. And the exciting stuff is there's also time stop, where you can completely stop enemies and walk up to them, take their weapons away. Like, it's the most interesting, but also most underutilized of the powers. But there's also the time reverse power, mostly just for puzzle solving, but still pretty cool. There might as well not be a plot, though. You're a time guy, and another time guy stole a time suit and went back in time to take over the world. Using time stuff, you have to stop him. And my description there is almost more effort than the game puts into explaining what's going on. Like, it is seriously jarring how much this game just tries to brush over its premise, especially because at least at first they're trying to go for something. The mute protagonist of the final game was originally voiced by actor Dennis Quaid, of all people. You can find news about all this. Originally, Time Shift was going to be a celebrity-packed game, but none of that stuff is in the final game. Aesthetically, it's pretty boring. The mission design is nothing to get excited about, but the time powers are so much fun, they really elevate the entire thing. And if somebody used them as a basis for like a game that does everything else good, it would be massive and an instant classic.
Okay, coffee, okay.
At number 5 is Wanted Dead. I mean, this is a pretty new one and has a pretty awesome title, honestly. But the story is total nonsense. The translation, borderline gibberish, voice acting, weirdly bad, like mid-2000s bad.
Let me see.
Doc, don't just stand there. Operate!
With what?
Take aim, soldier. This chance I won't miss.
Kana, he's in a bad shape.
All I need is one shot.
Need to evac, now!
And the graphics are sometimes serviceable, but mostly pretty ugly, even though it's got a weird charm to it. There are long scenes of dialogue that do not propel the plot forward. There's random anime interludes, there's karaoke minigames where all the characters sing. Well, about as bad as a guy that just got broken up with, and for whatever reason, despite having a horrible voice, decided that karaoke was the way to cope. Like, it's a strange game that feels stitched together with string and duct tape, but there's something scrappy and really likable about it. If there's one thing that's actually really decent, it's the combat, which seamlessly transitions from third-person shooter to close-range combat game, and that's about the closest thing to a John Wick simulator that yet exists. If there's one thing I hope future games steal from Wanted Dead, it is the combat, which can feel sloppy at times because of the brainless and twitchy enemies, but it's the core of a good idea here that is basically executed well. It's crazy fun to blast a guy with a machine gun and then turn around and slash another guy with a katana. The pistol button is great. You can just shoot anyone instantly with the push of a button. They just gotta be nearby. There's no aiming required. And that's how you interrupt heavy attacks. All kinds of Bloodborne energy in like a Devil May Cry type game. It's crazy. Now, those games are miles and miles ahead of this game in terms of the overall essence of them. This game has some serious problems. The levels are too long, don't have enough checkpoints, and on the flip side, the game is way too short and ends on a cliffhanger that's, let's be completely frank here, is not getting resolved. It feels like half a game, and the half we got is broken a lot of the time, but when it's working, Wanted Dead is an awesome, fun time. It's just not good.
Grenade!
At number 4 is Shadow Warrior 3. Compared to the first two games, Shadow Warrior 3 is absolutely a disappointment. It's short, it's dumb, the combat is very, well, we have Doom Eternal at home, son. But at least with that last point, it's not necessarily bad. Listen, Doom Eternal is fantastic, top-tier game, but it can be a bit exhausting. Shadow Warrior 3 is, on the other hand, less serious and kind of just fun. I mean, assuming you can get past the painful attempts at humor. The first two games also tried to be funny and mostly failed, but even at their worst, they never tried so hard and failed so consistently as the third game. Tonally, it feels completely different from the first two. Like they tried to turn Lo Wang into a low-red Deadpool, and that was not the right move. It's not funny, like ever, but now there's extended cutscenes where suddenly everyone's all jokey with each other and the camera's swinging around like crazy to keep up the energy, and it sucks. The story, the presentation, it all drags the game down with all these unforced errors. They could easily just kept things mostly the same as the first two, and I don't think anybody would complain. But they went in an entirely different and much worse direction in this game. It doesn't really play like the first two either. It's more of a hybrid between Doom Eternal and like Ghost Runner. like Eternal-style enemy arenas strung together with Ghost Runner running and jumping, which isn't a bad combination, but it feels very indie game for how stripped back the level design is. Doesn't mean it's not fun. It is fun. The shooting feels a little weak, but the arenas are great. Whipping out a sword to slash guys is super satisfying. The glory kills are awesome. You always have some kind of bonus, like stealing the enemy's weapon. It's fast, it's relentless, and here's the essential part, it's not brutally hard. The combat arenas are a lot more forgiving compared to what it's inspired by, and this makes a fun but kind of shallow adventure, and it's also way too short for the asking price. Like, there's legitimately good stuff in Shadow Warrior 3, but you're gonna have to be quick on that skip cutscene button, because man, these cutscenes are terrible. And to be frank, that doesn't help with the length problem, but I mean, stalling to make a game longer isn't exactly good. And number 3 is Mortal Kombat Armageddon. By any metric, this is a terrible fighting game. Mechanically, it's basic, the graphics are ugly, it's not balanced, and also, the greatest crime to Mortal Kombat a game can have, there are no fatalities in this game, and yet, there's something really amusing about it. It's a great party game to just screw around in, there's a lot of modes, and its claim of containing every character from every Mortal Kombat game means that the roster is insane. And hey, don't forget Motor Combat, the kart racer minigame that is included with Mortal Kombat Armageddon.